Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got a review for Drowning, a game that's not really a game but still worth taking the time to experience, or at least I reckon it is. At the very least it's worth discussing, so let's have a gander. First things first, Drowning is not a proper game in the traditional sense. You take control of a character, sure, but you don't have any goals to speak of, unless you follow the challenges set by the game's trophies, but even then, they really don't add much interactivity to the experience. Drowning tells a short story that takes no more than 45 minutes to see from start to finish. I say see, but really, there's not much else to actually see, either, as the story is told through words that tap out in front of you as you move through the ever-darkening landscapes, reflective of the story's darkening tone. The story is told from the perspective of a child who starts in Year 7 at school, and if you're not familiar with the British school system, Year 7 is high school, so around 11 to 12 years old. Each level takes the story forward to the next year until finally reaching Year 12, the last year of school. The chapters are no more than a few minutes long, but each packs a punch as the poor child's heart is spilled onto the screen, with their inner thoughts and demons becoming increasingly desperate and dark. Drowning's story is one of self-conflict, turmoil, hate, anger, desperation, hopelessness, friendships and their complications, as well as depression. Things that every kid will have gone through at some point during their teenage years, and for that reason, Drowning struck a few chords with me. It's not a stunning game to look at, and the writing is definitely a little bit weak, though you could argue it's in line with the young narrator, but most people, especially those who have long left school behind, will be able to relate to this tale in one way or another. I know I certainly did. Drowning had me looking back to my own times as a young boy going through school. These are the formative years of any kid's life. Your first mates, fights, triumphs, failures, first loves and last goodbyes. They're the best years and the worst years of your life, but you don't really realise how valuable they are until you're a 30-year-old man being forced to look backwards and inwards because of a video game. Thankfully, I made it through the system and came out the other end a fairly decent human being, at least by today's standards, which are admittedly quite low. Some are not so fortunate, and the inner conflict of fitting in with the crowd, aiming to please others, and doing whatever it takes to be your own person can be too much. Some don't make it out alive, and that's a message the game makes clear, even if it doesn't explicitly show it, which I'm thankful for. Drowning is an odd game. It's barely a game, but it's something that'll stick with me for a while. It took me on a brief stroll through somebody else's memories, but it also pushed me back down my own version of memory lane, something I rarely do willingly, and for that, I'll remember Drowning, even if I won't sit through it again. I will recommend it to my friends, and that includes all of you, because for just a couple of pounds, dollars or euros, it's a worthy and humbling experience. Normally, I end these reviews with an outro asking you to subscribe, etc, etc. I'm skipping that in favour of a few words, given the game's subject matter and the times we're living in. These are not easy days, though they are getting a bit easier. Mental health is as important as physical health, so if you're suffering, speak up. Nobody will think less of you for seeking help. Something as simple as a chat with a friend could make all the difference. And remember, if you're here watching this, then we're basically mates now, so don't be afraid to ping me. My Twitter is down below, or you can email via the contact email on Pure Play TV's About page. Just talk to somebody if you're not feeling great, even if it is a dickhead like me. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye bye.